Here's a little message on cliques. People a lot of times think that I'm like a neo-hippie, and I don't think of myself as a hippie. I think of myself as a nonconformist, and I'll tell you why. Hippie has been perverted, just like punk and goth and rocker, emo, everything's being perverted, and I'll tell you why. When a new clique forms, every 10 years or so, in the 60s you had the hippies, in the 70s you had the rockers, in the 80s you had the punks, then you had the goths, now you have the emos. All these different groups form as a way to go against society. It's just people doing what society doesn't think is good, and playing it up, and getting a laugh out of it, and doing their own thing. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I'm trying to do it all the time. But later on in time, people in that group who have small minds, whereas the original people in that group probably have huge minds, and, they think around things, they're trying activism, whatever they're doing, they're thinking. But all these little sheep come to them who want acceptance, and they assimilate. Now, if I'm a goth, who am I going to try to look like? Maybe Marilyn Manson. Head goth #1, crazy goth rocker. Oh, I'll dress up like Marilyn Manson. The problem is, when I start conforming to that image and make it mainstream, there's a problem. Because then I'm no longer nonconformist. I'm just not conforming to conventional society. I'm forming to my own society. And that can be a problem. Now, there are metalheads is the new thing. There's practically a friggin' metal revolution going on at this point with like 10,000 black metal bands and friggin' tens of thousands of death metal bands, grindcore, drone metal, metalcore, all this shit that they've got now, even like the posercore that they play in the malls, in the Hot Topic and shit. You got all this like metal revolution going on, right? That's great, because metal is anti-society, especially the new metal, more so than the heavy metal of the 70s, because that obviously is no longer frowned upon by most people in society, unless they're fundamentalists. But the metalheads movement is now becoming part of society. And they're doing it by making up all sorts of arbitrary fucking rules about what metal should be and what metal shouldn't be. This is pure black metal. It's not that poser black metal. It's all black metal. And they're all dressing the same. They're starting, people putting on corpse paint and going, yeah, hail Satan. You're posers by doing that. You're not metal. Any more than the neo-hippie Abercrombie kids who go around smoking grass and wearing dreadlocks are real hippies. They're not real hippies. Alright? Get that straight. Conforming to a group image is society, not nonconformity. When you make your own image, like, I like metal, I like psychedelic rock, I like punk rock, I like goth rock. So what am I? I'm nothing. I'm not a member of any clique, and I'm not a member of society. I do what the hell I want. I listen to the music I like, I use the drugs I want to use, I believe in whatever religious beliefs I have, which for me is atheism, I have my own political views, and those aren't going to change to conform with a group. It would be easy for me to change my views and my dress and stuff and be a neo-hippie and hang out with other neo-hippies and get along great and have tons of people admire me and think, oh, he's a good hippie. And, get a lot of grass and a lot of acid and spend most of my time high and wasted. And then, like all the other Abercrombie-wearing neo-hippies, I could go and get a desk job when I'm done with college. But I'm not. I don't want to do that, because I hate society. And I hate groups that try to make their own little society. Because they're all stupid. They're all stupid because they water themselves down. What people need to do if they really want to change the world is make an anti-societal group that changes and doesn't tell their members to do anything and doesn't have any authority figures. It'd be the most communist anarchist thing you could possibly imagine. It'd just be a group of people doing whatever the fuck they want, fucking each other, using drugs, killing, burning things down, doing whatever they want. And if they like parts of society, they could join society in those parts and just be anarchist on other things. That would be the most revolutionary clique ever. It would be an anti-clique. Encourage the members to be different. as though that's ever happened. Well, I can't say that, actually. It has happened 5 or 6 different times, and every time after a couple of years, you get some hegemonic figure raised up in each one of these cliques that tells everybody what to do. Like, you got Marilyn Manson for the goths, and you get all these emo bands telling their emo followers what to do. And, you know, you had people like Jerry Garcia and Jimi Hendrix and stuff that all the hippies looked up to. And rather than staying nonconformist, and this is not through the fault of Jimmy or Jerry or any of the other big-time hippie people, any of the big-time counterculturalists of the 60s and 70s, this is because the followers, the people that held them up on a pedestal and tried to be like them, are mindless. They weren't real hippies. That's why most of the hippie movement dissolved in the early and mid-70s, and the people went out and joined society again. They vowed they would never join society, but they did anyway. You got maybe a few thousand flower children scattered across the whole USA that are still out of society. And even they try to conform to an idealized image. They're not willing to change their views. They've got their views and they just do what they want and smoke a lot. Cliques suck. And joining cliques sucks. I'm not a member of any clique, and I don't think anybody should be. It's fucked up. That's how problems start, is when people start conforming to others' views rather than making their own. And they've got to do that. Peace. I'm not a fucking hippie.